Hey everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel, Greg's Restorations. We are out driving this 1967 Jeep Jeepster Commando that we've been restoring for over the last couple years. So these Jeepsters are like the predecessor to the CJ8 Scrambler. But this one started out life as a pickup truck, so we deleted the hard top and we went with a soft top. This vehicle was bought from auction in January of 2022. Came out of Arizona, rust-free vehicle. The reason why we were looking for a really clean, rust-free product to start with was because the owner of this vehicle previously had another Jeepster that was kind of a hodgepodge, needed a lot of work. We got it up and running for him so he could use and enjoy it while we were working on this, but it was not the vehicle to do a full restoration on. Rust is like a really labor-intensive job, and it's not that fun to do. So we build a lot of vehicles for Nantucket, and you can drive on the beach year-round. So everybody likes to have four-wheel drive vehicles. It's kind of like a culture thing down there, which is kind of cool because my whole life has been dealing with vintage four-wheel drive trucks, SUVs, Jeeps, Land Cruisers, so it's a little niche market for me that I like. So we specialize in building 60s and 70s and 80s now vintage four-wheel drive trucks, and a lot of our market is for Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard. So this vehicle we probably have about 1,500 hours into. It's kind of overwhelming. Vehicles that are full frame off restorations take minimum of 1,000 hours up to a couple thousand hours. All depends on the level of detail and how far you take the restoration. So yeah, this vehicle came in January of 2022. I actually remember actually doing the auction and bidding on it. It was actually the night of my daughter was born. So we were actually driving around, and I was actually sitting in a parking lot and bidding on this vehicle, and then later that night we ended up having to go and deliver our little baby. So it's kind of a little sentimental to me. So this vehicle was originally like a tan color. I like the color, but the customer was trying to reproduce the look of his other Jeepster that he had. So this red is called a Poppy Flame Red. It's a non-metallic color. The paint code is 105615585. It is a Sherwin-Williams Automotive. Base coat, clear coat, it's their Ultra 7000 series. The reason I picked this color was because we actually painted another vehicle that we restored a few years back this color. It was a 1982 Toyota pickup, and that went to Michigan. And that was kind of a cool truck, and it was like a custom little 4x4 that kind of like what we do. So it's kind of neat to see this color on another vehicle. It's always tough to pick a red out of a book or a red out of a catalog and know what it looks like. So we documented another vehicle that we restored. It looked great in photo shoots, and it was really close to the original color of the other customer's previous Jeepster. So that's why we chose it. So this vehicle is sporting a 2-inch suspension lift. It is still leaf sprung, just like it was original. In my opinion, the stock height of these vehicles are too small to give it that kind of classic four-wheel drive look. But a nice 2-inch kit it's a nice ride height, and it gives it that appropriate stance for what we're going for. It is, I don't even think they sell a stock height suspension for these trucks anymore. So also sporting a set of 16-inch steel powder-coated wheels. They're powder-coated white. Originally this truck would have came with a set of 15-inch wheels, but it's actually getting kind of hard to get tires. They kind of discontinue a lot of 15-inch tires. And the customer also wanted to go with something that was not an aggressive all-terrain. He wanted to go with a light terrain. These tires are a BF Goodrich Trail Terrain. They are 265/70R16, and they're on a custom 16-inch powder-coated white wheel. We also did something cool, and we added a set of factory steel hubcaps with the Jeep logo on them. The reason why we did that was just kind of give it a custom look. These wheels didn't come with the correct tabs, so we researched, we found something that was close. They were hubcaps for trailer wheels, So we ended up modifying the tabs. We bought a bunch of them and we installed them. We did have to modify the front caps to fit the locking hubs. So we ended up cutting out the center locking hub. But in the future, if anybody's watching this video, you don't have to actually cut out that center bore. They will still work over the locking hubs. You will just have to pop off the cap. We're actually going to be getting another set of caps just to cover over them, because the amount of time that the customer is actually going to be getting out and locking the hubs to go off-road is very slim to none. We also made a nice little tool to be able to pull off these caps so you don't scratch the wheel or don't scratch the paint. Another cool thing about this vehicle is we did a Raptor spray and bed liner floor coating in it. Is color matched to the exterior of the body, so it is tinted red. So when you get in this vehicle, you can see that the whole floor of this vehicle is got a texture bed liner, because they're going to be going to the beach and they're going to be getting in and out of it, and you know, your feet carry dirt and it's going to be scratching the floors. So it's a nice added protection. Another thing we did on this truck was we added a reproduction dash cap. These are available online. They fit okay. It's better than not having anything. Another upgrade that we did to this vehicle is we did power disc brakes. These vehicles came with drum brakes originally, so we wanted to do something a little more stopping power. We also did a Saginaw power steering conversion. So this vehicle has power steering, power brakes, and we did a vintage air AC system. If you're getting out on a hot day, it's nice. We get the AC on in here today. I would say it's about 90 degrees out with very high humidity today. You wouldn't even know it. We did a automatic transmission swap in this vehicle, so we used a Novak transmission setup. It is a stage 2 build that they did for us with some upgraded internals. We also did a Novak Dana 300 transfer case. It's a kit that they offer. It's virtually a CJ7 transfer case out of a 1981 CJ7. The transmission is a TH400 3-speed automatic. The reason why we did this swap was because the customer wanted to have something that anybody in his family can just hop in and drive. We did a low-car shift setup, and it actually looks like it's a manual. The original gauges of this truck are just very primitive, so we did a nice hidden setup right underneath the dash, right in front of the shifter, so it's like they're kind of out of sight, but you can see your oil pressure and your temp gauge. So really nice upgrade we did. Another thing we did is a Grant steering wheel. We let the customer pick out a nice Grant wheel for this. The original wheel was pretty unrestorable, so we did that as well. The engine in this vehicle is a Buick Dauntless V6. It's got about 165 horsepower. It's a pretty peppy little truck. It's not going to win any drag races by any means, but these vehicles also would have came with a straight 4-cylinder Go Devil. They were not as common as the Dauntless. The Dauntless had more power and was much more popular. We ended up also doing a manifold conversion on this. So we did Buick Skylark manifolds with rear dumps. The manifolds factory were odd. One side had a front dump because both left and right were the same manifold. So you can see in the photos that they were kind of an odd setup. So we had to do that because of the power steering swap that we did. And all the other conversions as well. It was not really straightforward, but we ended up finding some manifolds off eBay, and we also, asked some help from the Jeepster community to, what was the best setup for everything. So the axles in this vehicle are a Dana 27 front and a Dana 30 rear. They have 373 gear ratios. They are both open. There is no lockers in this or anything, just because the owner of this vehicle is mostly going to be driving this down the road. One of the coolest little features on these Jeepster is, in my opinion, the rear license plate bracket. So we ended up wanting to use the original bracket instead of doing an aftermarket bracket that they sell, because when you drop the tailgate down, it actually lowers the license plate. So if you were driving down the road with the tailgate down, you could still see the license plate on the tailgate. So it was like a really cool feature that they offered back in the 70s and 60s on these trucks. Like, the new brackets are fixed, they don't move. So like, if you ever had to use this as a truck and have the tailgate down, you could still see the license plate from the car behind you. Really neat little feature. a nice custom green tinted windshield. We got brand new custom cut glass for the doors, all brand new weather stripping. This vehicle is 100% fully restored. From wiring to brakes to axles, there's nothing on this vehicle that we have not touched. It is absolutely amazing. Here we are today on the underside of this 1967 Jeepster, and you can kind of see how nice this vehicle actually is. There is so much in-depth detail done on the underside of this truck. It's almost nicer than the outside of the truck. The level of detail that we've gone on to painting the underside of it, seam sealing, rust proofing, bodywork and painting the frame. This truck is a complete work of art. It is one of the nicest Jeeps, if not the nicest Jeep that we've ever had leave our facility. I wanted to do a big thanks to POR 15. They've actually helped us out with all of the underside components of this vehicle, from the acid etch to the POR 15 to the top coat. So this frame was done in a 3-step process of all their products that they offer. Really nice job. You can see up here we've got the front disc brake conversion, custom made drive shaft for our Novak transmission swap and transfer case swap, stainless steel exhaust. Our friends over at Inline Tube got us a pre-bent aluminized brake line kit with braided stainless steel lines. So it's a nice upgrade over stock. In the back here we have a polyurethane fuel tank. The original steel ones always rotted out and they are pretty much non-existent. So this is a nice aftermarket option that is available. We have also a set of reproduction chrome bumpers front and rear. These trucks, you know, they get dinged and dented up. They were Jeeps. They were used as, you know, trucks and equipment. So it was nice that they offer a aftermarket replacement. We could have sent out the original bumpers and had them repaired and chromed, but the bumpers were readily available. So it's actually nice to have some options. Big thanks to Kaiser Willys, Crown Automotive, Parts Guru, Jeepster Guru. All the companies in this have been super helpful in getting parts for this vehicle. Not everybody stocks everything, but between all the 4 or 5 vendors for these vehicles, you can pretty much get anything you need. Especially with having like Dana axles and a GM drivetrain, you know, all that stuff is readily available. Fully rebuilt front and rear axles, 2-inch suspension lift. Yeah, it's an awesome truck. These are the tires we were talking about before. These are the Trail Terrain TAs. They are a light duty all-terrain tire. Most of our vehicles we do the BF Goodrich all-terrain, but the customer wanted to go with something a little bit more road friendly and a little bit more quieter. His previous truck had the all-terrains, but they were a little too loud for his, you know, his preference. So we went with these Trail Terrains with a upgraded 16-inch wheel with a factory hubcap. Beautiful truck. It's going to be going home this week, and customers are going to be super excited.